I continue to do research on offshore oil, in particular through a series of studies for the MMS, which is the agency that leases the land and regulates this industry. The industry has had a very good record for the past 40 years. People don't know much about this industry because blowouts and serious incidents of this type have been quite rare, so offshore oil has sort of been out of sight, out of mind. But what people don't appreciate is that this industry has brought in 30% of domestic crude oil production on an annual basis and 20% of its natural gas production. This event is a freak disaster, an aberration, but it's going to cause people to rethink this whole endeavor. There are definitely going to be calls for tougher regulation. There are already class action lawsuits filed over this, and so this is going to be a major change for the Gulf of Mexico. There's desperate efforts to contain the spill. In deploying these booms and skimmers and dispersants and igniting the oil on the surface, to burn off the light fractions, and maybe the heavier stuff can be recovered, or maybe even sink. But it's a desperate thing they're doing now, and there's going to be a lot of pollution and contamination in the marshes and along the coast, without a doubt. It's an engine of the entire Gulf Coast regional economy, Texas, Louisiana, but not just those states, Mississippi, Alabama. This is the dominant industry, along with refining along the Gulf Coast. We shouldn't overreact and propose shutting down this industry. We can't shut this industry down in the Gulf. It's too important. It's there's so much, and we have so much invested in it, not just in terms of capital, but jobs and our energy security. That this is going to be terrible, and I don't know how it's all going to play out. But I think it's important just to keep that perspective. I have worked with the Minerals Management Service, which is the agency in the Department of Interior that leases federal land and regulates this industry. They have an environmental studies program that I've been involved with over the years, and some people are trying to hold the MMS up as the agency that is sort of responsible for this disaster because it didn't regulate the industry hard enough. But I think we have to wait for the results of the investigation to determine if the regulations were inadequate or if there were equipment and procedural failures that even tougher regulation wouldn't have been able to prevent. What I do know is that the offshore regulatory program is a very good one at the MMS, and the people who work in that part of the agency are highly dedicated, competent people. I respect and admire the work they do in managing our national oil and gas resources from federal lands, especially in the last 25 years or so, when the dominant political ideology in this country has been to shrink the size of the federal government.